It had nothing to do with political nothing.
Political violence?
Was what?
The guy who stabbed someone, like the one example you brought up, was that political? Not lead to more violence.
Let's find out if this is true. Do you think that if there's a bail fund present during these riots, that the likelihood that people will show up to them increases or fucking decreases?
I'd say it increases, Andrew.
Okay, that's it then, Soy. You fuck.
Okay, that's the link.
Here's
Andrew,
here's the point that you're avoiding. I need to mention this. I need to mention
John Paul.
Real fast.
Do it again.
Based on the distinction. So the mod said it's my turn to speak.
Oh yes. So you've been speaking a good bit. John hasn't spoken.
He literally addressed me. Come on, Corbin.
Okay. There's a massive.
John Paul reminds me of the guy from Dazed and Confused. The young kid, you know.
Here, when you post a bail fund during the riots and pardoning someone years after. Like, so my question: Can you name a single act of violence?
No, what's the difference?
I'll tell you the difference. The difference is when there's riots going on and the rioters see the bail fund, they say, maybe I can just do more riots and I can get away with this.
If any evidence
is over,
someone gets pardoned for a crime,
that's the
they
first
did,
half.
but they would
when
never
January
ever
6th is
do it
over,
again.
when January 6th is over and 4 years later you pardon the people, what violence has it? Okay,
what
can you name
general
a single act of violence? Can you link a single act of violence?
What ECA did they have?
Let me. This is the most important question. This is the most important question. It's the most important question.
How could they possibly try that?
Let me. I gotta get this question out.
Okay, hold on. So John, just let John go again.
Let John go again?
I mean, let him finish, and then you can go. Let him finish, and then you can go.
It's a one sentence question.
See, Soy-filled spurging out like he can't help himself. He can't let him finish it without trying to spurg out and interrupt.
Can you name a single act of violence that has occurred as a result of the January 6th pardon?
Yeah, can you name me the election that they would try again to do? What general election they would
answering a question with a question?
No, because you got to understand that you're saying the litmus test for this is, well, if you put the bail fund in the middle of the riots when there's another opportunity to the riots, therefore you're encouraging it to happen again. And yet there is yet to be another opportunity to help Donald Trump overthrow the election, at least not until the midterms, if not the 2028 election. So they literally haven't had the opportunity yet, but somehow this doesn't indicate that they might try again, even though they're completely now innocent of all crimes that they did on the day that they did it. They haven't had the opportunity to try again. How does this at all map one-to-one?
So it's an argument of the gaps. It's just like, I can't demonstrate it, but in the future, maybe.
You can't literally overthrow an election because there isn't one. How could they possibly try again? What election are they going to go overthrow right now?
Wait a second. I thought you just got done saying that Gavin Newsom was saying that he was going to run for a third term, and that when he ran for the third term, what he could do was we could get JD Vance.
Hey, I want before we get too far away. Before this gets too far away, I want to mention this with John, because John asked who was pardoned by Trump that later committed a crime. I got a great one, actually. I have a story here. This is from The Guardian. It says authorities in Texas say they have captured a convicted U.S. Capitol attacker who was pardoned by Donald Trump at the start of his second presidency. Andrew Taki, 36, was arrested on Thursday in Leon County in connection with charges filed about 120 miles away in Houston for the January 6, 2021. He was, where is it here? He was charged with solicitation. Yes, solicitation of a minor.
But again, if they're being consistent, they'll say that's bad. I would say that has nothing.
Wait, he was soliciting a minor?
Yes.
What is it? So what does it have to do with anything then?
Well, that's my argument, but you guys are going off about this
guy. What are you talking about?
Went out and killed the guy a year after the fucking riot happened, not immediately after, and has nothing to do with a political message.
No, hang on. My argument was just this. If it's the case that just having those bail funds increases the chance of political violence, and the fact that you only see them on the left, you say yes, then we've already established a link. You can't establish back the other way.
Well, he just showed you a criminal that made more crimes happen after he was pardoned. The increase in crime happened post-pardon.
Yeah, he hasn't correlated that had actually anything to do with that. He wouldn't have been able to commit the
crime if he was in jail, Andrew. He did it because he was pardoned.
Wait a second.
Was it political violence?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with political nothing.
Political violence?
Was what?
The guy who stabbed someone, like the one example you brought up, was that political violence?
No, that wasn't political violence.
I want to be very clear. Taki also was he assailed police with bear spray and a metal whip on the day he and other Trump supporters descended on Congress. So this wasn't somebody, by the way.
Okay,
he's like just there at the protest.
But I just want to point out though that than anybody who's released from prison, right, can attack somebody, and then we could just retroactively say, well, then you shouldn't have released him.
Well, no, Andrew, to be clear, I'm
like,
saying
what are you talking about?
I'm saying you would have to show some sort of political violence happening as an extension. And I agree that obviously there's probably a likelihood that if people think there are bail funds, they might go again and do it. But you guys can't even fathom in your head that if you get pardoned for trying to overthrow a general election, you might try again the next time there's an opportunity. But because there hasn't been one yet, well, I guess it can't happen. We'll just have to wait and see till 2028. It couldn't possibly happen.
I understand. So just to make sure I got your argument correct, yes, you believe that bail funds likely do increase the likelihood of violence at these political events, but there's a potential future in which the now pardoned after years of prison January 6ers may attempt to do another overthrow, insurrection that you don't believe happened. Is that right?
All right, hold on. Let me frame it the way you.
Yeah, is that right? No, the insurrection. What overthrow? There's no overthrow. There was no insurrection.
Let me phrase it because it's not right. You got a little things wrong. So you believe that Kamala Harris putting a bail fund for people who were just out where they weren't supposed to be and letting them go back out in the streets and protest.
Where they just weren't supposed to be. Like, see, this is the type of slimy shit the left always do. They always minimize what their side does and then maximize like what the right does. So soy-filled argument here is basically that since Donald Trump pardoned J6ers, therefore he's encouraging violence because, well, he's giving the message that if you cause an insurrection on my behalf, then therefore that I'm going to bail you out, and therefore, even though Donald Trump could have bailed them out, he could have pardoned them before he left office, but he didn't. And the Democrats prosecuted, just locked them up, all these J6ers, even ones that weren't violent, in jail. And they were locked up for 4 years until Donald Trump pardoned them. But how is that going to motivate people to do that on his behalf again? Like, Donald Trump can't run for president again, right? He can't run for president again. We don't know if it's for sure going to be a Republican or Democrat who's going to be our next president. So why would anyone risk that? Why would anyone risk that knowing that they could be locked up again because it could be a Democrat that takes over? Meanwhile, Democrats are really soft on crime and they minimized everything. They called it the summer of love. This is the language of the unheard. These are lefty things, not righty things. These are lefty things. It's the language of the unheard. They excuse it at all. They excuse it. They minimize it. They downplay it, but they treat January 6th like it was the worst event ever. 9/11, the sequel. That's the difference here. It's like they're constantly minimizing crime and giving all these criminals second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 20th chances, letting them back out on the street. The left are really soft on crime, especially if you're doing things on their behalf.
Peacefully, it's somehow equivalent to Donald Trump getting the people who think they did nothing wrong and actually were on there under explicit orders from him to their belief and saying, hey, this is okay and you can do it again. This is nothing. This is absolutely not going to promote political violence. But Kamala Harris releasing peaceful protesters. I mean, that's insane, Andrew. That's crazy.
I don't actually understand what that particular straw man has to do with my steel man.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry that I straw man.
I was giving a steel man. You could have just disagreed with a steel man.
Fuck off. That wasn't a fucking steal.
It was. Man. I was.
See, that's the cringe laugh that I was talking about. I was like, oh, why does he laugh like that?
It's actually making sure I got your position correct.
You are so retarded that you couldn't possibly fathom that telling someone
you say
that you tried to overthrow the
all you do is filibuster. Do you want to have the conversation or not?
Totally okay.
Do you want to have the conversation or not? If you do, you can't filibuster.
Okay, well here.
So just chill out and let me just ask you this.
Well, you interrupted me. Can I?
Well, I was in the middle of. You can't interrupt your interruption. I interrupted your interruption. I was talking and interrupted your interruption. I'm sorry, I interrupted your interruption.
Can I finish my question?
Yeah. So you can ask your question.
Okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When I let you go through it,
whoa, hold on, Corbin.
I just want to make sure I'm setting conditionals.
Can I finish my question, Corbin?
I just want to make sure that after that I can actually answer.
Yes, Andrew, you can answer after it.
All right.
Okay. So when I say, yeah, it's probably likely that there's some increase of people that might do more rioting if they got a bail fund. That's obvious, and that's such an easy concession. But when I ask you, if someone is pardoned explicitly for the crime of trying to overthrow the election, it probably increases the likelihood that they might try again, knowing that the person who might benefit from them overthrowing the election would pardon them again. You cannot say yes to that. Is that true?
Yeah, this is actually correct. But why? Can you give me the why behind it?
No, why don't you give me the why, Andrew?
No, that's not how Steelman's work, stupid. Tell me why I hold the position.
I'm asking you a question. Please answer.
No. Okay. So yes, these are not comparable. You're talking about a distinction of 4 years in prison.
There's no general election for them to overthrow.
I thought I was going to be allowed to answer the question. No.
Yeah. So let Andrew.
Yeah, so these are not comparable. When you're talking about bail funds just being present, you can't point to anything on the right which is like this. You've conceded this point, demonstrating that yes, not only is the left committing violence, but is also setting up organizations in which to bail people out when they're part of this. The reason that you guys keep on saying, for instance, most of these arrests happen in curfew. Well, yeah, they sweep them off the street because most violence happens after fucking curfew. That's why they're sweeping them off the fucking streets. That's one. The second aspect here, which makes no sense to me at all, they spent years in prison. Clearly, the people broadly must think that there was a massive injustice which happened here because Donald Trump got elected again. It's not like I'm in some like marginal tinfoil hat conspiracy bubble. Most people seem to agree that, wait a second, something seriously wrong happened with the prosecutions of these people in J6. They re-elected the fucking guy, and he won the popular vote on top. Calm down.
Based, by the
I
way.
thought I was still not allowed. Still not allowed to answer. Still not allowed to answer. Right? Okay. So anyway, the thing that's really funny here is like they're not comparable at all. Having that 4-year prison, so you always omit that. They had 4 years in fucking jail before the pardon. You think that doesn't act as a deterrent, and then you say, well, wait a second, no more election can even happen. Then what the fuck is Gavin Newsom talking about? How Trump's going to stay for a third seat and how he's going to accomplish that? He's just going to deploy the military, declare himself the king of the fucking United States? Like, what are you even talking about here, man?
Okay, so thank you for admitting your entire base is fucking retarded and that you didn't understand my point. The point is there has not been an election for them to try and overthrow. They were in prison for 4 years because Donald Trump was not president and could not pardon them for those 4 years. As soon as he gets in power and as soon as he has the ability to, he gets them out. And now, if there is another election in 2028, they would very likely at least just admit that they might try again in the next election, which could happen. And then Donald Trump might say, hey, I pardoned you once for this. It's very likely that I'll pardon you again for it. Why the fuck wouldn't they try again?
Because they don't want to spend another 4 years of in prison. If it is the case that the new government, hang on,
Andrew.
If it works this time, like, oh my goodness, this is the bizarro world they live in. That was actually an attempted insurrection there, like the worst insurrection in the history of insurrections.
Why is nobody ever allowed to actually answer the question you ask? It's very likely that if there's a deterrent of, the federal government's going to fucking persecute you if you even show up. If you don't even commit violence, right? They're going to persecute you and throw your ass in fucking prison. And by the way, they had 4 years. This was the most investigated. I believe that this was the largest U.S. investigation in history. I mean, you can chat GPT that. I think that that's the case. The largest in history. You think we don't have the facts on it at this point, and that the president and his Justice Department can't go through the facts before they give these pardons, and he was swept in by popular vote. It appears that there could have been some injustice going on there. I'm just not willing to accept your narrative that when you say, I don't agree that this was actually an insurrection. Okay, I don't either. And so the thing is what's really funny is these guys get put away for 4 years. You think they're going to go back out and try a second time? Yeah, fucking right, dude. Yeah, fucking right.
Okay, so to be clear,
I also do want to mention 4 years for assault is a very long time.
Hold on, one at a time.
Go ahead, John.
Soy, and then John.
Okay, cool. So you're completely ignoring the fact that these people are dead to rights, convicted of trying to overthrow the government. The reason I don't want to hang on the insurrection point is because I know you love playing the definition game there, and it's not really worth it. We can see what they tried to do. They tried to steal the election for Donald Trump, and once he had the power to
wait, so you were lying, and you do think?
Why is no one ever allowed to finish a point, Andrew? I'm sorry.
So it was an insurrection.
Everyone else.
So to be clear, they tried to overthrow the election, and Donald Trump pardoned them for that. And you're so incapable of admitting that maybe people who realized that, hey, if we were successful and Donald Trump had become president, he would have pardoned us right away, or we wouldn't even gone to jail in the first place. That's so beyond the pale for you. You couldn't possibly conceive of it. But when I say, yeah, maybe some people who looked at a bail fund might say, well, I don't have to worry nearly so much about crime. I'm being so fucking good faith in granting you that when you still haven't established that any people that rioted did it because of a bail fund. I'm just saying, it's probably likely, but you're incapable of admitting that maybe someone pardoned for a crime might try to do it again in a way that gets their guy elected so that he pardons them again or they never go to jail.
Well, wait a second.
I'm telling Vince Wilson a cuck because every time Soy-filled is like talking and he's making Vince Wilson's like pointing like, yeah, he's got it. Like, no, dude, Soy-filled's an idiot. He doesn't got it. He doesn't live in the same world. Thank you very much, WR332, for the $5 dono here on YouTube. The left are tards. Of course, they think January 6th was a planned insurrection. That's the level of coordination they have. Yeah, of course. Of course. Thank you very much, man. Is he wearing a rainbow clown hat? Yeah, that's the Soy-filled thing. He wears the little propeller hat. It's just like a part of his like character, his like persona, if you will.
Wait a second. When it comes to the realm of logical possibility, and grant almost anything is logically possible, Superman could exist, for instance. We're talking about cases of likelihood, right? What I saw was Nick Fuentes distance himself from Trump after J6. I saw a lot of the prominent people who were there afterwards distance themselves. I don't want anything to do with this guy. And a lot of the people who were released, were very mad at Trump. They were very upset with Trump. They thought they should have gotten a pardon on his way out the door. It does not actually seem as though these people are going to be willing to show up to overthrow any fucking election or that they ever did in the first place. And by the way, let's point this out that you just lied about your position on insurrection twice, right? I asked you if it was. I asked you if it was.
John Paul that he could respond.
So the insurrection, right? Point when I asked you, was it an insurrection?
I said, let's say no.
No. He said, no. He said,
conversation go further. Let's say no.
He said, no. No, you didn't say for the sake of the conversation. You just lied about your position. You were hiding it.
And I'm saying you in parentheses for the sake of the conversation, because the implicit thing is we're not going to get bogged down.
Okay, well, let me just ask this. Was it an insurrection or not?
Let's say no.
No. Your actual position. Hey, I'm not trying to bog it down. I want to know the answer.
Let's say no, because it's not really worth like fighting.
Was it an insurrection or not? Yeah. So you got nothing. You fucking lying sack of gutless weasel.
I'm not lying. I'm saying let's say no for the sake of the conversation.
Yeah, but I don't.
Andrew and Soy. I promised John Paul that he could respond.
Okay, so there's a lot that needs to be addressed here because I think, Soy, you're missing or just outright avoiding all the points that we're bringing up. So I'm willing to grant, and I do grant, actually, that if Donald Trump pardoned people who you can confirm committed violent crimes and did that during like a time of insurrection on the Capitol or violence, that could potentially lead to more violence. But there's a lot of conditions. There's a lot of conditions.
Let's say yes for the sake of argument.
Yes, let's say yes. There's a lot of conditions. There's a lot of
that's what you're saying. I'm not.
What we're saying.
No. Let's say.
You know what's funny is that Soy-filled, like, so Donald Trump clearly said like march peacefully, and on January 6th he said that, and they always make excuses. Well, he said it too late, and but he ended up pardoning them, therefore he didn't really mean it. And yet they'll always point to the lefty politicians, like the Democrat politicians, denouncing violence, like the Charlie Kirk violence or whatnot. And then they go, but see, they denounce violence, and they completely ignore pretty much like the soft on violent stance they have, where it's like, yeah, they'll say they condemn it, but they also kind of condone it too when they excuse it by saying it's the language of the unheard. And there's also clips of them condoning violence when Maxine Waters is telling people to harass, like get in the faces of Republicans when they see them in person and stuff. Like with Donald Trump, it's just Trump derangement. Like they're super charitable to their side, but uncharitable to Trump.
Say it for the sake of argument, though.
I don't agree with this argument.
I don't agree with you not agreeing with the argument.
Oh, why?
Let's just say for the sake of argument, we'll hide all of what we actually think about things from now on, Soy.
Is the definition of insurrection prevalent?
Okay, so here's the thing. We don't.
I'm not asking. Did I ask for a definition of insurrection?
Yeah, you're right, Wickmoto. He does do that. He always backtracks with agreeable qualifiers, then doubles down while squeezing. Yeah, no, I noticed that too. He'll do that. he'll agree, he'll give agreeable qualifiers, but then he'll like double down. And he's also a but guy too. He'll always go like, well, yeah, listen, blah 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 blah, but blah 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 blah. He always does that. He's slimy. This dude is a slime ball.
We don't know enough about each individual case to make a claim regarding the pardons, but like so we're just assuming that he pardoned someone who actually committed a crime.
No, we're not. Actually, Vince brought up a specific example for you, John, and you said, well, actually, the violence
there's many points. Okay, here
I like to jump in at some point.
What Andrew was bringing up, which is very important, is the concept of deterrence. When people spend time in jail, and they spend time in jail, that acts as a deterrent. I'm not going to go and step foot even close to the Capitol if I know that people who just standing there recording the building on the outside were given years and years of jail time, let alone actually trespass and assault officers.
Okay, by your standards, can you tell me one violent criminal who is released on bail immediately after the BLM?
For the sake of argument, I can tell you 5.
Okay.
For the sake of argument,
I'm going to ask
something incredible here.
Forth a little bit.
Kamala Harris, when she put out the bail fund, that was during the riots.
Yep.
People can see that, and they could reasonably commit more crimes.
Yep. Okay.
So
as long as the crime happens within a longer time, it's okay, right?
Here's
it's okay if the crime happens 8 years later, even if they were encouraged over the course of 8 years. That's fine.
No, that's not the main point.
Okay.
You're not encouraged.
So like compare it with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the day of the January 6th, January 6th, he said, guys, march peacefully. Like he condemned the violence right then and there. Did Donald Trump ever once, like, see, they always try to paint it like, yeah, but Donald Trump didn't mean it, or it was too late. But yet, did you see Donald Trump at any point be like, hey guys, like all the people that weren't violent, people that were even leaving because they saw what was going on, they didn't want to be a part of it, or the people that were just standing peacefully outside? Did you see Donald Trump encouraging, like if this was really an insurrection, asshole, like, did you ever hear Donald Trump going like, hey guys, what are you doing just standing there? Come on, we have a government to take over. We have an insurrection to pull. You got to get me to stay in office, guys. What are you guys doing just standing there? Go in there, break some shit. Come on. Like at no point did he do that, nor did at any point going, hey guys, listen, this is the language of the unheard. If you guys go in there and make your voices heard, if you know what I mean, wink, wink, dog whistle, I will pardon you guys. Here's my pardoning. Anyone that goes in there and does my bidding will get pardoned. Like, no, at no point did he do that. No point did he do that. But yet you had Kamala Harris going in there and being like, here's the bail fund for anyone that got arrested for peacefully making their voices heard. Like Donald Trump didn't even say anything about if you're peaceful in there, I will bail you out. Don't worry, I got you. Like he didn't say that at all. But you have Kamala Harris going on there and being like, here's the bail fund. So, and they know this. Like they know the left condemn this shit. They know it, but they're lying sacks of shit.
By the way, 4 years for assault, that's a long time.
What if they thought they weren't going to get another 4 years?
Felony, the maximum you get for a misdemeanor assault most of the time is a year.
Well, it's
so 4 years. I'm not going to.
So it's not a misdemeanor. That's a little different.
And their felony assault is generally up to 7 years. 4 years is
it can be up to 20 sometimes if it's with a deadly weapon. Actually, I didn't chat GPT that.
I don't think people want to spend any time in jail.
Would you lie to us about that,
Google, by the way, Soy.
We're talking. We're making a point about probability. We're making a point about probability.
For example, Kamala Harris.
There's two things. There's a point about probability, and then there's a point about linking the actual cases. Can I finish? The point about probability. The probability of someone counting on the fact that in 4 years their president is going to get elected again and pardon them makes it extremely unlikely that they're actually going to commit another act of violence. When you post a bail fund in the middle of a riot, people are going to think I can escape this potentially, and that is going to make it more probable to commit violence. The other thing is the linkage between these violent acts. We made a condition.
Dude, why can't this guy even make his case, dude? Just calm down.
He's talking out of his ass about points that he's not even
there's the probability.
John Paul finish.
He's been super respectful to you. At least let him make his case.
I got
take you off for a beer, John.
All right, so there's a link. The other point, other than probability, is the point about linkage. So We have given the condition that when you're talking about responsibility for political violence, there has to be a link between the act and the violence. We demonstrated a direct link between Kamala Harris posting bail fund and rioters committing acts of violence. There's not a case where as a result of the pardons that people have committed more political violence as a result of the pardons. You haven't made that case. So you have two issues. I mean, your only argument is about potentiality. Your only argument is about potentiality, that potentially in 4 years, if JD Vance or Donald Trump or whoever's running for president doesn't get elected, then probably there's a potential for people to form an insurrection and overthrow the government. Probably some people will commit violence because they're probably counting on the fact that in a number of years, there will be a president of their liking that gets elected again and pardons them. That's a completely outrageous point. Your only point is predicated on that point, which is completely false. And secondly, you actually have to show a linkage between violence that actually occurred, which we have, and you have not.
Can you show the link between Kamala Harris's bail fund and people going out and doing more political violence? Because you haven't done it.
Yeah,
yet.
Rioters.
You can't just say rioters. You have to show that her bail fund encouraged rioters to go out and do more political violence. You got to show me that.
Yeah. You did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, see, like, look at it again. Like, they want all this proof. Whenever we make claims, they want all this proof. Show me, demonstrate that for me. But yet they're able to make any claim that they fucking want. Again, pretty much what's going on here is that we're debating against people who live in another reality. They live in bizarro world. All right, we live in normal world. They live in bizarro world, and we're arguing. We're on two different wavelengths here. Arguing from two different realities.
You made the concession. You made the concession. No, you made the concession.
Oh, okay. So when I grant you the modicum of good,
you didn't grant shit. It was a concession.
Oh, it's not a grant. It's a concession.
No, it was a concession. Yes.
So
you're conceding the point because it's true.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
Okay,
If it's true,
let everyone let Vince come in now.
Yeah. If it's true. Right, there's a difference between it's likely versus it did. If it did, then there should be something that you guys can point to say.
Actually, this is actually a good point. So you're right. We're talking about likelihoods, and so when I asked Soy, do you think that the likelihood drastically increases when you have a bail fund? He says, yeah, it does. Of course, it makes sense. Hang on, it makes sense. Wait. Hang on, calm down.
I got 2 words out, by the way, before you just jump in. Like, yeah,
you just asked me a question. Like, why do you guys ask me questions and then when I start answering them, you get upset?
I didn't ask you a statement. I said.
Okay, go ahead.
I said that there is a difference between likelihood and that something did happen, and that if you guys say that something did happen, in fact, that you guys should be able to provide something to back up that claim. And that is something that I feel like you guys have not done. And again, reiterating my opening statement that you guys have fully proven is that anytime we bring this up, you guys deflect. You'll say that it's some other kind of issue. You will not take responsibility for the fact of what you guys do. But when it's the left, you guarantee it wouldn't take any modicum of evidence. You could just see that you
projection
you said before already, by the way, you could see a word on a bullet casing and automatically go, yep, that's the case. But I guarantee you, if was somebody on the right, you guys would not sit there and you guys would have all sorts of just like, well, wait a minute, guys. Hey, he might have PTSD. Oh, he might have had trouble with his marriage. But you guys would never, ever grant that amount of courtesy to anybody on the left.
That's all projection there, asshole. All projection. That's what you guys do to us. What about all of the what about like when a white cop like unalives a black man, huh? And immediately it goes to racism. All of a sudden you guys are like, oh, this is racism. This is Trump's America. This is Trump's America where they're just unaliving black people. All right. There's no proof that it was racism, no proof whatsoever, but you guys just immediately come to that conclusion. And then now you're like lecturing us like, well, you don't like the bullet literally said catch fascists. Who do we call fascist? Who does the right call that's fascist? Why would we think Charlie Kirk is fascist? It doesn't make any sense. And then, so yeah, when you have the guy who did the Mormon church killing recently, yeah, that is PTSD, because what right-wing rhetoric is like, hey, kill Mormons or demonizing Mormons? Where is that coming from? Is there a heavy anti-Mormon rhetoric here on the right? That Trump is going around saying, oh, Mormons bad, that it radicalized this dude and he killed Mormons? Yeah, he might. Yeah, he was a Trump voter. He might have been a Trump voter, and we could grant you that. That doesn't mean that it's our political rhetoric that caused it, though. That's the thing. That's why we say it's PTSD, because what evidence is there that that was politically motivated? Meanwhile, the family of Tyler Robinson is saying that he was anti-Charlie Kirk. He was getting more radicalized. He was dating a trans person. He had a bullet that said "catch fascist." And you guys are like, well, that doesn't mean he's left wing. Like, you guys are so full of shit. We are sick and tired of you guys.
Well, here's the thing. It's really funny, right? It's like, I don't know why you think it is that our faculties go out the window when it comes to this stuff. Like, I think a tranny fucker who fucking puts out, oh, hey, fascist catch. I think we can put 2 and 2 together there, right?
Yeah.
Without, I think we can. I think we could put it together. I know it really jumped in. Shut up. It's my Vince's exchange. I know, Vince, that upsets you that we were able to call that correctly because it was very simple to do based on the circumstances of what was going on with that particular case. But the funny part here is, like, I don't even
mention J6.
I actually don't even understand the ultimate criticism. If we're talking about likelihoods, then all we're doing is making the same comparison that you're trying to. We're saying that the likelihood here, if it's the case that you have bail funds, you make the concession, of course, if the bail funds are there, that is going to increase the amount of people on the ground, thus increasing political violence. Versus, do you think that it's likely that people who spent years in prison after a pardon they didn't even know that they were going to get is going to somehow increase the likelihood that there's going to be another example of J6? You also say that we're running away from responsibility or somehow deflecting. And yet, when asked directly, do we condemn any violence which happened on J6? We both said yes, and so did Trump. Not only are we not deflecting, we're taking
one-to-one example.
Vince's exchange. Calm down, Soy. The thing is like, how many concessions can we possibly make in good faith and demonstrate this for? And by the way, let's just assume for a second we never did. We never, ever took responsibility for anything. The fuck does any of that have to do with whether or not the left commits more violence or not? What? Even if I deflected from everything and doubled down and said Trump's the man, he should have overthrown the fucking government. Even if I said that shit, Vince, what the fuck does that have to do with whether or not the left commits more violence or not?
We moved on from that, Andrew.
Yeah, and of course, Soy Pill's not going to address that. But yeah, see, and that's also another thing too. We here on the right, we like, no one is pro January 6th at all. Like, at most, we'll just say it wasn't the horrific event that the left makes it out to be, and that some of the people locked up got harsher punishments than they deserved. But that's about it. But other than that, we all condemn it. No one here is like defending January 6th and saying, oh yeah, it was okay, that was fine. Like, no, we all condemn it here. Meanwhile, you guys on the left, you condone the violence because, again, you guys are coming from this mindset that you guys are fighting oppression, that you're being that there's groups of people that are oppressed, say like Black people, they're oppressed in this country. So when they're going out burning buildings and looting and stuff, that's just them fighting against the system. That's them getting their voices out there that there's that they're displeased, that they're angry about all the oppression and injustices that were going on. That's why you guys condone it, because you guys really feel, again, you guys live in bizarre world, that there is some serious oppression going on. Therefore, your violence is justified.
Because you were unable to accept the data and didn't have data of your own that countered ours. So,
very scientific.
Okay, here's a more one-to-one example that you guys will maybe accept. I doubt it.
Can you let Vince answer?
I highly doubt it, but I do want to ask you that real quick.
I
think we should find the guy who roughed up that protester in my.
Seriously.
Yeah, let Vince fucking have his exchange. You calm down. Twirl your fucking propeller or something for a second.
What did you want to say to Andrew?
Yeah, I'm just sorry.
I think it has a lot to do with it. Again, if the right refuses, and again, going back to my opening statement, because I love to reference that, is that, again, in the absence of condemnation from the right, and you guys may condemn it, that's fine. But the vast majority of people that I have engaged with and that I have seen online don't necessarily condemn it outright. And the most that I have seen have done otherwise. And
lies. Prove it. That's just a straight up lie. He's lying.
The absence of.
That's exactly the work I was expecting.
I can go. I'm sorry, dude. My internet sucks. You can look at the left. When you look at the left or the right.
Who on the right didn't condemn violence? They all condemn violence, as far as I saw.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Let me ask you. You talked about dog whistles. If Gavin Newsom said, I condemn this rhetoric, and then goes in and then pardons or bails out, because you guys have already said this implicitly with Kamala Harris, then bails out all of those people that protested, would you still say that Gavin Newsom condemned, and that he condemned the rhetoric? Would you say that same thing? Because you seem to not be doing that with Kamala Harris. In fact, you were saying quite the opposite with Kamala Harris.
You're saying, so like if this something equivalent of
Gavin Newsom claims like, yeah, we are doing stuff about like the LA riots, for instance. Yeah, we are. He didn't need to send the National Guard in, but meanwhile, like there was a lot of cops like standing around just letting the violence happen, and Gavin Newsom was justifying it because, well, Trump bad. Trump, they're angry because Trump wants to send them back to where they came from. They're angry about this, so they're justified in it. Yeah, that's Gavin Newsom. That's why we don't believe him when he disavows it, because on one hand, he's saying he disavows it, but on the other hand, he's saying, yeah, but listen, they're angry because of Trump. So are they justified in it or not, Gavin? That's why we don't trust you. That's why you're a lying sack of shit.
A6 happened in California, and then Gavin Newsom decided that he would go ahead and pardon all these people after they did 4 years in fucking prison. Would you agree that he condemned the violence the day after? Yeah, probably.
I don't believe it, but
that's nice. An argument from incredulity. Andrew, I don't believe you. That's nice.
Okay, so my question is, if you guys think Donald Trump were to say, hey, I will pay the bail funds for people who assault protesters at my things, and that's in the middle of protesters doing things in his rallies, would you say that might be encouraging?
You mean that gotcha where he was being tongue-in-cheek? It was very cleverly done there. So.
Okay, so even in the most one-to-one example, it was a joke.
Show me the bail fund.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, where's the bail fund?
Show me the bail fund.
Bail funds. I think bail funds are pretty funny.
Bail funds?
Bail funds are funny, dude. I think they're hilarious. I'm going to go retweet a bail fund now.
Can you show me the?
Yeah, exactly. Where's the bail fund Trump set up to free all the people, huh? Show us, Soy. Show us.
Actual bail fund. It was a clever gotcha, but it didn't work. Show me the bail fund. Show me the bail fund.
There is a Patriot Legal Fund. There's a Patriot Legal Fund that's helping pay for legal fees of all of those who are on January 6th. They're also helping pay for some.
There's not funds for protesters then. So not that.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, Andrew. I could have sworn you said these don't exist on the right, and he just brought up a.
That does. That's not a fucking protester bail fund. You lying sack of gutless shit.
What would you call them then?
Who? No. The J6ers are people who are being politically persecuted. This is. This is.
Dude, if you didn't smoke and you weren't so.
See, what the hell is up with that fucking laugh, dude? Soy, stop it. Stop it.
Fucking fat, it'd be easier to lift the goalpost and move them around.
This was long. This was long, Aster. You should use those dick-sucking lips of yours to go ahead and actually make the case.
Hey, girls love these. You should ask your wife.
Make the case.
Dick-sucking lips. Well, what kind of girls are you dating, Soy? That they like those DSLs of yours?
Make the actual case. Ask my wife.
Doesn't it suck when people yell at you and get all flustered and your masculinity just disseminates?
Are you ever?
You start to feel all that sexual anxiety, Andrew.
Are we just going to troll
all the other men? Your wife.
Let's troll. Hey, if you want to troll, let's troll. Is that what we want to do?
Hey, Soy. Look. I think
Soy. Are we just going to do trolling? If you want to do that, we can do that.
I think it's the pickle behind you that's got him a little flustered.
Oh my dude.
Holy
shit, dude. That laugh. Like, I want to rip my fucking AirPods out because whenever that fucking laugh comes out, dude, I'm not even fucking playing. That is a horrible, annoying, grating laugh. It's horrific. I'm traumatized.
Well, check this out.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna throw things.
You keep one by you just in case. Now that you have someone else loosen up.
We're gonna kick it over to John.
That's sad that's the best they have is the whole jar opening thing. Like, that's the best they got. Like, how sad is it, Soy Pill, that you can't beat Andrew Wilson with your ideas, so you have to resort to the jar? How sad is it that the only one of you arslerd lefties where it was able to embarrass Andrew like a jar has, and that's why you worship the jar so much. You're like, oh my gosh, this jar, it's a god. It's the only thing that's been able to embarrass Andrew Wilson. We must worship this jar. It's really more unknown on you guys.
I mean, here's the thing though, Soy. Like, if you want to have legitimate debates, I don't give a shit. Here's the thing, Soy.
Corbin,
if we're gonna do trolling, now we're doing trolling.
I will mute everyone. We're kicking.
Now we're just doing trolling, bro.
It to John Paul.
No. Now we're gonna do some trolling.
Just me.
No. We must do trolling now.
We were kicking it to John.
We have to do trolling now. John's not allowed to talk anymore. Nobody's allowed to talk. We're just doing trolling now.
All right, John Paul.
Nobody's allowed to speak. He's allowed to insult my wife. Right? He's allowed to do that.
You called her a 6, dude.
When your fucking family's doxing's up online, don't get mad at me. You opened it up.
Your family's doxing.
You opened that shit up. And the thing that's funny is like, wait, hang on. Sorry. Was that
the Proud Boys? You're just playing self-defense.
Was that due to your rhetoric? Did you
was?
bring it on yourself with your rhetoric? By the way, we don't do. By the way, never.
I think the insults were.
By the way, we never do. By the way, we never do doxing ever. I'm just pointing this out to you. I'm pointing out
that you are an incredibly weak man baby who postures as super masculine, but the instant someone insults you, you get flustered and feel like a little bitch.
No, you're just filibustering. You're not
so clearly upset about it, and now you're like,
you're being
really mean to me.
Your insults are dog shit.
Embarrassing.
You wear a propeller on your fucking head.
Yeah,
you're a fucking doofus.
Said, hey, he does it as a joke, but now that you think you
can hang on.
Can we so hard?
Can you tell me? Can you tell me why your live streams only have 4,000 on them and your other streams have 9?
Yeah, for video essays, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, so it's really weird. It's almost like you're lying. It's almost like you're lying about.
You know what's funny is that Soy Pill on his Cope stream after this, he tried to he brought up how Andrew Wilson brought up his viewership, his live stream viewership, and he's like, by the way, I'm glad that I'm not really a big streamer because it gives me a chance to engage with the chat here. I wouldn't be able to see all of the chat if I had a much bigger audience. Like, it was such a pathetic cope. The thing that sucks though is that you could tell Andrew has allowed Soy Pill to get under his skin a little bit, and the thing is, it's like, I get it, man, because dude, Soy Pill is he's such a piece of shit. And sometimes I feel like these lefties here, their goal is just to get under your skin because they can't own you with the ideas. They can't. All right. Again, they're living in a completely different reality. If there's any lefties out here that disagree with me, feel free to let me know. If there's any lefties here that are secretly watching, that are looking in the shadows, you could come on here. But honestly, you guys are living in a different reality. That's why your ideas don't resonate with people. Because it's just not real. It's not real. We're saying real shit.
Botting your channel. You want to talk about that?
Botting, dude? Why would I bot to have 200 fucking people, dude? You think I go on these live streams that
I don't understand
and I pay for them? You're fucking insane.
Exactly.
Dude.
That's what's weird. How do you have 200,000 plus views on some of your videos? A lot of your videos.
Things that aren't this because
you don't make any fucking money. You make zero money.
You try to market yourself selling.
Yeah, and he doesn't. Yeah, and he doesn't make any money because again, he sucks. He's a horrible debater. His ideas aren't based in reality.
Debate for some reason, even though you're dog shit at it.
I know. I beat you every time,
guys. Yeah, this is my whole fucking life. Debate is awesome. On your birthday, instead of spending time with your family,
if you're good at debate, then why won't you debate?
I make video essays and then I go live a fucking life. So yeah, my fucking audience doesn't like this shit. It's awful, and I tell them I'm sorry. All the descriptions are like, I'm so sorry you have to watch this absolute dog shit. You love it. In any other situation, you'd be a fat, overweight construction worker who dies of a heart attack at 45.
I know.
Thank God that you have the fucking internet and a bunch of retards think you're fun to listen to. So now you can make money doing something else. It's embarrassing.
Anything else?
Embarrassment of human beings.
Is there anything else, Soy?
I have a lot more to say.
How's that apartment treating you?
It's actually pretty nice, actually.
I don't know. I'm about to move into a $1.4 million house, and that's pretty fucking nice too. That's pretty fucking nice too.
You've got a MAGA audience of a bunch of retards who love giving money to people.
Hey, enjoy the propeller hat. Enjoy the fucking propeller hat, bro. Enjoy the fucking propeller hat.
You have nothing to offer them. You're so bad. I don't know why you self-admit to being low IQ.
Hey.
Why not just say you're smart? At least then they'll have a master figure.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry that I make so much money online and you're seethingly jealous. I'm sorry.
That's the one thing you said that's correct. I wish I knew as much as you, but unfortunately, I can't be as stupid.
You can't even imagine how much I'm making right now while you're filibustering the debate.
I can totally imagine it.
Yeah, I know, but dude, you really can't.
No,
it's so much more than you. Bro, it's
I'm
so much
actually
more
able
than
to
you think.
project even 8 years into the future when I'm making a lot of money.
You're not ever going to make any money
when the next
online.
election happens, and I'll
Because
just
you can't debate. You
have a
just troll.
TikTok vault full
You
of
don't
coins
even
and bills.
debate.
It'd be
You just
amazing.
troll.
And I can imagine the election too. It's
Look
so
at this
easy.
debate. So who do you think's going to come and debate with you again?
Dude, and no one ever debate with me, you realize I get to focus all the time on the things I want to do and not the things that you love.
Then why is it that you wanted to do this debate then?
Actually, it's so funny. Corbin, I was going to be super nice to him. He reached out and he was super.
Yeah, so then he tells this story about, oh, I'm doing a favor for Corbin pretty much. But the night before this, he was on Raging Tomatoes channel debating. So if he doesn't, he doesn't really care about debating. He wants to do all the fun things that he likes to do, like get his nails done or whatever the hell he does on his free time. Then why the fuck was he on Raging Tomatoes channel? Was he doing a favor for her as well? Like excuses and cope. Soy Pill is so full of shit. And Andrew is saying firsthand why people like Rob Noor don't want to engage with Soy Pill, because Soy Pill is a scumbag. Remember when he lied to Rob Noor? Remember that when he tricked Rob Noor into debating him? Rob Noor doesn't want to debate him no more. Soy, you're a sack of shit, dude.
super sweet. He said, you're the first person I asked. And then the next day he said, and Andrew Wilson's confirmed. I said, Jesus Christ, I have to talk to this fucking retard for another 3 hours. But I didn't want to be mean to Corbin. And John, I just want to say, you've been incredibly respectful. And I actually am. I know you're at UC Berkeley. I'll go out, I'll take you to lunch. And I think you can be saved because you're not stupid. You really are. You've demonstrated actually, at least in some integrity and the ability to like process a logical argument, even if I think you're completely wrong. So, you know,
you don't know anything about logic. You're the worst at it. And by the way, if you were good and skilled at debating, why wouldn't you just keep debating? Why do you have to troll the debate?
This accomplishes nothing. You're unable.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
Thing. The only thing this is for is your.
The only thing you could do was attack my wife. That's it.
Botting. Half these fucking people are your guys in here. Like,
can I just ask you? Can I just ask you one question? Just one question before we wrap the debate up. Have I ever attacked? Have I ever? I just want to know. Have I ever attacked your family once?
You don't know my family, but I'm sure you.
No, because I wouldn't. I just don't do it. I don't do it. I don't do it.
Kind Andrew. He's just the nicest guy out there. Guys, I want to go look at all the clips of Andrew being so nice. He's just the most good faith, kind person. He's always.
I am actually,
Build bridges. He's never done anything awful, misogynistic, or awful.
What have I done awful? To name something I've done awful to somebody.
No, you're right, Andrew. I think you're the paragon of.
Can you tell me what I've done awful to somebody or not?
And it's so amazing.
It's just you're just a low tier troll.
Just because they hate you and you're good debating and logic, it's so fucking awful.
Well, the thing is funny. Yeah, just filibuster.
I don't know why I'm so mean
filibuster the debate, troll.
To say, why don't I insult John's family? It's probably
you're not.
John.
Look, you're not a serious person. You're not a serious debater. I don't know what to tell you.
How dare you call me not serious?
The thing is like I came on.
You're fucking this fucking retard and you're bragging about it. Like, I'm happy for you.
I was doing a favor for Corbin.
I'm not a serious person.
I was doing a favor for Corbin.
Who you're talking to? I do this for fucking fun. This is a career.
And that's exactly why you're going to keep on working at the fucking low tier factory you're at. I'm sure. The thing is, though, is with Corbin, and here's the thing's funny. I came out to help his channel. I told him the last debate I would. And so I did. I came out and did exactly that. But the thing is like, never forget that you're a low tier fucking troll and you could have had a great debate here and you just chose not to. This was all you.
Well, you know what? I appreciate all of you fine gentlemen coming out and giving me a slice of your clout. I really appreciate that.
I don't got no clout. All right, look, I'm trying, but I ain't got
more clout than I am, Vince. All right, you got to give yourself some credit. I'm not like the.
I will say, I mean, now that we're kind of winding down a little bit, I mean,
yes, we were winding. Winding down.
I know this is like this is winding down. I will say, I mean, just on the top. Oh, I'll let you go ahead.
So we are closing in on the 3-hour mark. I don't know if any of you gentlemen have a hard out. I can keep going for a bit, but it seems like we've derailed a good bit. How do we kind of want to proceed?
Yeah, I'm good with closing statements.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone else good?
That's fine.
Yeah. So that was Soy Pill spurking out. Andrew just going off on this dude. Just going off. I'm going to try to get Soy Pill's closing statement because it's nothing but cope.
Alrighty, then Mr. Soy Pill, where can people find you and give yourself a closing statement?
Yeah, I'm a low tier factory worker, the Soy Pill. I do video essays on YouTube, but don't go check those out because I need to fail out and pursue my real career of whatever the fuck it was going to be otherwise. I wanted to come here and talk about the rhetoric of our politicians and how blatantly obvious it is that the right wing is refusing to condemn anything. And while I would not put this onus on John or Andrew, despite Andrew's reach, I think it's very clearly a demonstration of what those Republican politicians do, which is deflect, 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 excuse, excuse, excuse. Every single time, there's never, ever, ever, ever a modicum of responsibility for when their side and their rhetoric does something awful. You can ignore the study if you really want to, but I promise you, if you go through it, yeah, you're going to find some things that you might say, man, maybe that belongs here, that belongs there. But until they provide some sort of study that shows that actually the left wing is overall doing it, and not declare, well, it's because of these videos I saw, and it just kind of feels like more are happening, I'm going to go ahead and say that probably the right wing is doing it more. And I'll even concede, look, it seems like the left wing's doing it more this year, and that's not good. I condemn it, shouldn't happen. But guess what? The right wing's being super fashy, so that don't justify violence against them. But I mean, if you literally go on the HUD.gov right now, the radical left are going to shut down the government and inflict massive pain on all American people, according to the current Trump administration. It's always the entire left's fault. It justifies everything that's ever done to them. He's going to pardon them. He's going to do awful things. And hey, when it gets really, really bad, maybe we will have to do some, boogaloo stuff. But I don't think we need to get there. I think we can have peaceful elections and fight back against this really well. So thank you for having me, Corbin. Andrew, it was fun. I know the insults go back and forth. I don't know why your wife's off the table when, clearly she's in the debates with us. I would never go after your children. I hope they live prosperous, beautiful lives.
Oh,
John,
I can't believe, you're so nice.
This is my
Okay, let's not.
Andrew.
You're so nice.
I know you have very low inhibitions. But yeah, John, hit me up on Twitter or something. I'll take you out to lunch out in Berkeley or something. So,
all right.
Who wants to hang out with Soy-filled? Dude's a loser. I will say this Corbin guy, his channel Corbin Sales, he's not monetized. He seemed like I don't know what part of the political spectrum he's on, but he seems like a good dude, and he seemed genuinely appreciative that he had a larger audience. Like in a little bit, he goes, "We have 150 people watching. That's the most I ever got," and he seemed like really thrilled about it. I don't know. Seems like a humble dude. Might be an actual reasonable lefty. Who knows? I don't know. But if you want, you could give him a follow too. Help him out, Corbin Sales. But yeah, just wanted to share this because Soy-filled absolutely got destroyed here. Absolutely destroyed. And it was a pleasure, absolute pleasure to see. It's just sad that Soy-filled had to, had to react into he had to start trolling and he had to start attacking Andrew because, again, he had no arguments. He had no actual arguments. He really feels that this is all coming from the right. They really feel that way. But that just doesn't match reality. That's why he doesn't make any money. That's why his channel sucks. That's why he doesn't make near as much money as Andrew. And yes, you could argue Andrew's appealing to how much money he makes, but there's a reason why Andrew makes that much money. There's a reason why he's that successful, and that's because he's good. And people resonate with what he's saying because what he's saying is truth and makes sense. Soy-filled doesn't make sense. It's all lefty brain rot garbage. And it doesn't resonate with anybody other than people who already have brain rot lefty garbage. So that's why Soy-filled will never be a success. He's lame. He sucks. And I want to remind people that in his Cope stream, after he said he's bored about talking about Charlie Kirk, he deleted that stream. So I can't unfortunately prove it, but he did say that. I wish I would have screen recorded it. But that's another reason why Soy-filled is a piece of shit. But what did you guys think about that? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more Andrew Wilson, I urge you to subscribe to The Crucible. I also will link the original full debate down in the description down below. It is on Corbin Sales' channel. And if you want to see more content on my channel, more of my reviews, I have a whole bunch of content on my screen that I think you'll enjoy.